Ilhan Omar is living the American dream. Of that, there is no doubt. She was taken in by the most generous nation on earth, clothed and fed and housed until she could support herself, and was loaned money to go to college so she could live her life to the fullest and reach impossible dreams. She then ran and won and was accepted into the highest levels of government. Nowhere else would that be remotely possible, and she has not stopped slamming the country that gave her so much ever since. It is an odd way to pay back all that she has been given. But Democrats are not always the most rational thinkers. Rep. Ilhan Omar, D-Min, on Tuesday castigated supporters of President Donald Trump by claiming America's problem with ignorance is pervasive. Quote, Omar appeared on the nation's Next Left podcast with host John Nichols to discuss various issues, including the intelligence of Trump supporters. So suddenly you're elected, and you had this teaching moment. It strikes me that, in watching you, you are conscious of teaching moments and of that opportunity to say something that might cause people to think differently about what's going on, Nichols said. Omar said U.S. voters have a misconception about refugees and the process they face getting into the United States. She went on to specifically target Republicans in her criticism, saying they are really good at mass information and sort of really reorganizing facts to sort of paint a picture that really eventually is not rooted in facts. Quote, she said Minnesota Republicans who want to stop refugees from coming to the state spread misinformation about how refugee resettlement works. There are agencies that run the resettlement program. This is a process that's run through them. If you end that contract, it's not that refugees are not going to be resettled. It's that the state just doesn't get informed, Omar said. And so the only leverage you have is that you're part of this contract and you can be part of the negotiations on how many people get resettled in your state. Quote, and so it is not that they might not be knowledgeable about this, but they use it as a tool to stir up hate and division. And ignorance really is pervasive in many parts of this country. And as someone who was raised by educators, I really like to inform people about things that they might be ignorant to, willingly or unwillingly, Omar continued.